This year, in our annual report, we have increased the amount of information we're sharing about penalty and complaint disciplinary outcomes. We know that there's a desire to have this information on the part of Calgarians, and while we're not able to share individual officer discipline due to privacy legislation and because those are employment records, we're trying to put out more statistics and more aggregate information so that Calgarians can understand what our complaint outcomes look like. So you can see on this slide that 13% of complaints in 2022 resulted in formal discipline for our officers. Almost half were resolved informally, and that could be through supervisor intervention, through formal mediation, or through a facilitated discussion with our intake team. And then the remainder were either not sustained, which means we found no misconduct, and that's about 30%. Dismissed, and dismiss means, for example, the time limit for filing complaints had run out, so there's no standing to make a complaint, or it was withdrawn by the complainant. The most common forms of misconduct, both serious and less serious, is insubordination, and that is a police term for non-compliance to an order or a policy. By far, that's the most common, followed by discreditable conduct, which is another term which basically means conduct that negatively impacts the reputation and trust in the service. We do see use of force at about 9% and neglect of duty at about 14%. The most common penalty for our officers for misconduct was an official warning at about 50%. We also levy penalties that are financial in nature, and that means that we take away overtime hours from their pay bank, or we suspend them without pay, or they are demoted, or in the most extreme cases, dismissed from the service.